He sold 10 names to the KGB. All 10 were executed. His name was Aldrich Ames. 31 years inside the CIA. Trusted with almost every name the United States had recruited inside the Soviet Union. He gave every one of them away for $4.6 million. Twice, the CIA tested him on a polygraph. Twice, he passed, while he was still selling names. He died this January, 84 years old, in a federal prison. Barely anyone noticed. Here's why they should have.
Turn now to one of the most notorious traitors in American history. Aldrich Ames has now died in a U.S. prison. ABC's Christian Cordero has the details on the spy scandal that made Ames infamous. Christian, good morning.
Hey, Sophie, good morning. Aldrich Ames betrayed dozens of Russians who risked their lives to work with U.S. intelligence, later admitting he did it to save himself and make lots of money.
Ames joined the CIA in 1962. Counterintelligence, mostly. The division built to catch exactly the kind of person he became. He knew every name, every operation, every source the CIA had inside Moscow. He wasn't a believer. He didn't hate his country. He was in debt, going through a messy divorce, and remarried to a woman who spent money faster than his CIA salary could cover. So in April 1985, he walked into the Soviet embassy in Washington and made an offer. What he sold next didn't just cost the CIA information. It cost people their lives, starting on day one. Subscribe if stories like this are your thing. Now, here's what day one actually looked like.
But in 1985, Ames was deep in debt. He offered to feed information to the Soviets in exchange for $50,000. Ames then worried the Russians working for the CIA would expose him, so he betrayed them.
He knows exactly what he's doing. He's identifying every human asset who can expose him.
Ames gave the KGB the names of up to 30 Soviets working for Western intelligence. 10 of those people were executed within months.
On his very first meeting, Ames handed over 2 names. Soviet officials secretly working for the CIA. His logic was almost businesslike. These 2 were already at risk, so giving them up cost little and proved he was serious. Both men were executed. Before he'd even been paid, the KGB was thrilled. And over the next 9 years, through postings in counterintelligence, Rome, and eventually counter-narcotics, Ames kept the names coming. About 20 sources inside the Soviet Union, 25 more across Eastern Europe. One was a retired Soviet general who had spent 18 years secretly working for the CIA. Asked at his trial what fate awaited him, he gave 2 words: unmarked grave. Here's the part that should actually worry you. Not because Ames was brilliant, because the system built to catch him barely tried. He was polygraphed twice while actively spying, 1986, then 1991. Both times, the machine flagged reactions that could mean deception. Both times, the examiners waved it through. His KGB handlers gave him almost embarrassingly simple advice. Stay calm, cooperate, don't overthink it. That beat one of the CIA's core security tools for 9 straight years. Meanwhile, on a CIA salary of about $60,000 a year, Ames bought a Jaguar in cash. A $500,000 house, also cash. His wife, Rosario, ran up phone bills to Colombia costing nearly $5,000 a month. She would later claim, and many investigators believed her, that she never fully understood where the money came from. She just knew not to ask. That's its own kind of complicity. By the early 1990s, sources inside the Soviet Union kept vanishing, and recruitment had nearly stalled. Something was burning every operation almost as fast as it started. The investigation that finally caught him didn't come from a defector or a lucky break. It came from his bank statements. In May 1993, the FBI opened a full investigation into Ames specifically. 10 months of surveillance. Agents went through his trash, tapped his phone. At one point, they followed his car from a small aircraft circling overhead. His deposits lined up almost to the day with every payment the KGB had made him. With Ames scheduled to fly to Moscow, the warrants were signed. FBI agents arrested him and Rosario outside their home in Arlington, Virginia.
Among those he betrayed, Sergei Fedorenko. Ames told ABC's Ted Koppel in 1997 that he still considered Fedorenko a friend.
I believed at the time I gave him up, and events proved me right, that there was no serious risk to him.
Oh, come on. You couldn't possibly have known that.
I was taking a risk.
Ames kept feeding Moscow information, getting paid millions between 1985 and 1994 when he was arrested.
Ames pled guilty. Life in prison, no parole. Rosario received 5 years for tax evasion and conspiracy, not espionage itself. Ames spent the next 3 decades at the Federal Correctional Institution in Cumberland, Maryland. On January 5th, 2026, he died there, 84 years old. Most coverage of it lasted about a day.
He pleaded guilty to espionage and was sentenced to life in prison. Aldrich Ames was 84.
Ames wasn't clever. He was patient and he was lucky. And for 9 years, the people paid to catch him chose comfort over suspicion. That's not a character flaw in one man. That's a system failing on purpose, twice, because checking harder was inconvenient. And somewhere right now, that same comfort is either protecting someone loyal or being used by someone who isn't. Subscribe for more of these. Next week, the spy who watched Pearl Harbor from a hotel window and made sure the attack succeeded. That story is next.